So we want the price to come above it, retest this area, and then head for this target area. This previous high was never broken. It's a very nice double bottom at this area, and the price continuation here, because we know if this is going to get broken, then this is a huge buy signal for us. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So looking at the coin Bitcoin price action, we can see now the price has already broken our key level of 9,300 area, which was around here yesterday. We also said if the price is going to find support or consolidate around this 9,100 area, breaking this key level of 9,300 wouldn't be any difficulty. And also it would head straight towards the 9,500 area. And if you look at this price action right now, it actually went straight towards 9,500 area, and look, it's now finding very strong resistance around this area. But what happens if the price is going to break towards the upside? If this price is going to break above this, we need a second confirmation. What I mean by that is price, now this 9,300 was a very strong resistance, right? It was not letting price to go above it, but now the same resistance line is a very strong support. Yes guys, if the price is going to test this area again, this 9,300, it will hold the price very strongly. This means try again to break this 9,500 area. So if this is going to happen, our next target would be 9,800 area. So guys, if the price is going to consolidate around this area, there is high probability that we might also break this 9,800 area. So now also in a bigger picture, this Wyckoff distribution has nothing to do with it now, because it's already invalid since the price is already broken our last point of supply. Okay, so let's focus on this particular price movement only. And another example what I've actually prepared for you guys is very easy to understand. Guys, we know we talked about this Bitcoin COT indicator. If you double click on it, you can see I've deselected this institutional trader net, professional trader net, and also the retail trader net. I've only included percentage open interest held by the largest for longs and percentage interest held by the largest for short. So what does this mean? If the percentage open interest held by the largest for longs bigger than the percentage interest held by the largest for short, that's a buy signal. So in another case, if the percentage open interest held by the largest for shorts are bigger than the percentage open interest held by largest for long, that's a sell signal. So now look, when the price was at its peak, you can see the red line are the percentage open interest held by the largest for shorts. So now you can see when the price reached the peak area, right? Look at this difference. It started spreading with each other. It indicated now it's a sell signal, because I told you, right? If the percentage interest held by the largest for shorts is bigger than the open interest held by the largest for long, this is a sell signal. And let's look here. So in this case, this was also an area where the price was at its peak. And if you look at here, guys, we can also notice this here started falling apart from each other. It started going apart from each other. You can see we had a big gap, and it was also spreading away from each other. It was not like going sideways like this. It was clearly one was going upside, one was going downside, giving us a big indication that, hey, now the open percentage interest held by the largest for short is bigger, so that's a sell indication. And now if you look at this current price movement, it's spreading wide open. That's why we have to be careful at the moment. And also, if you notice here, when the market was at its peak, we never broke this trend line, which was clearly indicating, hey, now we are making lower highs and lower lows. Look at this when we reach the peak, right? And if you look at the same example here, it also indicated, hey, the price actually clearly made lower highs, lower lows, and it never broke this trend line. So now if the price wants to prove us that, hey, this is some sort of like double bottom around this area and we are heading straight towards 10,000 area or 12,000 area, this trend line has to be broken. Because if you look in our previous example, you can also see this previous high was never broken. So guys, if this is not the case, or if this is not the peak like we were expecting, then this previous high must be broken. And that's the indication, hey, now, as I said, this is a very nice double bottom at this area, and the price continuation to the upside is very likely to happen. So also do keep eye on this, guys. So the another important thing what I actually wanted to show you is this triangle continuation pattern. Guys, this triangle continuation pattern right now is very important to understand, because if you look at this coin Bitcoin price movement here, right, this is a very nice symmetrical triangle indicating, hey, the breakout is to the upside, right? And it happened, and look, if you are focusing on this particular area where we are at the moment, let's say if the price is going to break to the upside according to this symmetrical triangle, let me show you how you can calculate the target area. You will take the point 1 and the point 2, which is this area. Let's say it's going to break around this particular area. Okay, so if you take this one, you can see now this area, which is around like 11,200, it's going to be our target if this upper line of this triangle gets broken. So if the price is going to break this area, this is where we are focusing. So we want price to come above it, retest this area, and then head for this target area if this is a symmetrical triangle. But what if this is not a symmetrical triangle? That's why I have actually made this line. If you delete this one, you can notice now this is not a symmetrical triangle anymore. This is a descending triangle. So if this is a descending triangle, which we can also see, it is like similar case to this one here. This was also a descending triangle. Descending triangle usually breaks to the downside, guys. That's why this is very, very important to understand, because look, also in a bigger case here, this was also a descending triangle. We can see the flat support around this area, this trend line, and it broke to the downside, right? So if this here is also a descending triangle, we have to be very, very careful, because we will now have to see if this price is going to hold around this area or not. Because if the price gets rejected around this area, and let's say it's going to come back around this area, we have to be very careful where it's going to find support. Because if it's not going to hold around the support area of 9,000, above 9,100 area, and it's going to break around this and come back to this 8,500 area, then this could be a descending triangle. And this descending triangle, it usually breaks to the downside, just like here, right? It broke to the downside, it broke to the downside. So if you are trading right now, do keep your eyes on this one, because now you can see, as I've already mentioned here with this line here, stating that, hey, if you want to break to the upside, then you have to break the previous high. So let's see how this is going to pan out, because right now it looks like a symmetrical triangle, stating that, hey, we might have a very, very high possibly breaking to the upside. But if the price comes to this area, this trend line area, and doesn't find support, head straight to this 8,500 area, then that's the another scenario. That's the descending triangle. So you have to be very careful, guys. So let's suppose if the price is going to break to the downside, I showed you, if the price is going to break to the upside, our target area would be around this 11,100 or 11,200. But if it fails to break this trend line and start heading towards downside, then just like that, guys, our target area is very simple. It's going to be, let's say if it's going to fail from here around this area, our target area would be around the 7,000. So as I said, guys, this triangle continuation pattern this here, if it's a symmetrical triangle, it's going to continue to the upside. But if it's not a symmetrical triangle and ends up being descending triangle, then this is indication the price is going to continue to the downside. So do keep an eye on this one. But if you look at this whole scenario in a bigger picture, I've actually included in a weekly chart, this line here, I've called it very clearly, right? This is a bearish trend line. So this bearish trend line, if we look in this in a weekly candle, this is also a symmetrical triangle. Around this particular area in a weekly candle, we have a lot of rejection. We have already seen that price getting rejected plenty of time when it comes around this 10,000 area. So that's why if this price has capacity to break this upper line, this bearish trend line is going to break out, then this might be actually indication that, hey, now the price is unstoppable. I mean, there is a high probability of price crossing even the last high of like 20,000, guys. Because if you look this whole in a weekly and say, hey, this is symmetrical triangle, in this case it does look like that. And let's say if you want to calculate the break point, right, and this take it from here, let's say it's in a weekly time frame, it's going to break from this area, then its target is going to be around this 26,000, 25,000 area, guys. That's insane, I know that, right? But before that to happen, it has to break some previous structure. Simple previous structure. I mean, breaking this previous high would be a really nice. That's an indication, hey, now it's a clear sign that it's not like the back from 2020 here, or also not from like 2019, right? It's new scenario. And also the symmetrical triangle would indicate now this is a triangle continuation pattern. So price has possibility to go to the upside. And let's see how it's going to end up here, because we know if this is going to get broken, then this is a huge buy signal for us. Watch this price movement very carefully, because we want price to give us a clear sign of a breakout, not a fake out. So by saying this, I want to end this video here. Until next time, my name is Anup. Bye bye, guys.